Hello and welcome back to the Fermented World Homebrew channel. We're over this side of the kitchen, which means we're brewing beer. Now this is the first time I have ever attempted one of these beers, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. It's probably going to go horribly wrong, but this is going to be my barley wine beer, which is sort of inspired by a Norwegian brewery. Obviously I've used their method of how long it needs to be. I'm using the same hops as them, but in different quantities. So yeah, we shall see how this turns out. Now we've got a big bag of grain. There is 3.5 kilograms of Maris Otter, which is just like a standard pale malt for ale. We've got 350 grams of wheat malt, and we're going to be using 70 grams of this 100 grams of chocolate malt to give it a bit of a colour and a bit of depth. Now, reading up on about barley wines, watched a couple of videos and stuff. Now, this is going to take a long time, possibly a long time to brew, possibly a long time to age. Now, some people have said 3 months, some people have said 6 months. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to brew it, and we're going to go for a 3 month, and then we're going to do a 6 month as well, just to see if there's any difference in them. Like I say, this is going to be a long haul, and for this to age out and taste good, it's going to take a while. But, you know, we don't mind having it just sat resting, doing whatever it's doing for a while. It's perfectly fine by me. And we can obviously have other bottles of it as we go into it, maybe monthly. Every month I might take a bottle out of it. But will it all fit in my pan? Because if you look at the size of that bag of grain in comparison to the size of Now then, this could go horribly wrong. It could go very horribly wrong. I don't think I have the capacity to be able to brew this. Anywho, I'm going to speed this all up because it's a bit boring and just me chatting crap. But we're going to give this a go, and fingers crossed it bloody well works. Yeah. Barley wine. So there's nearly 4 kilograms of grain going into this. 3.92 is what I estimated it at. It's going to have a 90-minute mash. It's got chinook, centennial and Columbus in different quantities at different times. And there's also a dry hop with this, which I wasn't expecting, but I thought I'd throw one in anyway because I've got hops to use up. Got some of these are fresh packets. The Centennial's already been opened, so we'll probably look at trying to finish the Centennial off. Let me double check I'm not using any of it for another brew. No, there is no Centennial in there, so we might try and use that all up depending on what quantities are left of the other stuff. So we're going to get it sped up. Wish me luck. I'm going to bloody need it. Okay, so I'm back in real time. We have got some porridge going on here. I left out 2 litres of the water simply because I didn't want it to overflow when I put the grain in. Now I could have got away with another litre of water, which I'm going to add now to it to just try and help it move around a little bit more. Now I have got some water here already that's been boiled, so it might very well have cooled down a little by now. I'm not using that water because that wasn't the correct temperature, but I'm hoping to get around the 60 mark, or at least the 65 mark, but I need to double check how hot this is first. That's at 72. I got a feeling I need more hot, so that's an extra 1.5 litres. Well, looking at that, I should be able to fit this in, and if we don't use it all, we don't use it all. Simple as that. In that goes. Yeah, that's all right. That's not going to be overflowing. Let's give it a good mix, and we need to bring it up to 65 degrees, so we'll do that at the same time. And back to the speedy. Yes, I don't know what was going on. Maybe it's telling me it wasn't meant to be, but we did it. Hopefully the extraction's good. We get plenty of sugars. There's possibly too much grain, not enough water, but we can always work with that by adding some dry malt extract if needed. Or again, I've got that dark candy sugar which I could just throw in to bulk it up if we need a higher ABV. So start gravity of around, I think about 70 will do it, or 80. Should give us around 11%, 10 to 11. That's what I'm aiming for. So we're going to be using Nottingham yeast, which is my hometown. So woo me. Lallemad Nottingham yeast, high performance ale yeast. It doesn't say on it what the tolerance is, but I will find out and put it along here. And yeah, we're going to use a whole packet of this just so that it's got extra fight in there. It doesn't have to work as hard because there's more of it. And yes, this has got a 1.5 hour mash. This is the second time I've ever done an 1.5 hour mash. Mainly because of the amount of grain that's in there. I think it's necessary. But after 1 hour, I'm going to be increasing the temperature in there to 69 degrees, which should then end all of the conversion from starch to sugars, and also at the same time it'll get it ready for sparging. So yes, that is what we're going to do, and I'm probably going to come back in half an hour to check the temperature's good, actually, because I have no way of kind of regulating the heat because I don't use a digital setup. I'm analog, baby, analog, yeah. And we'll just do a 30-minute. Come back, check the heat. If it needs knocking back up, we'll knock it back up. Until then, bye-bye. So my bloody alarm didn't go off for some odd reason. Not quite sure why, but we're going to come check the temperature. See where we are at. 63, 64, 65. It's retained its heat pretty well, which is good. So there's no need to do anything just yet. We've got another 20 minutes. And then we're going to crank it up to 69 degrees, which again should cut off the conversion. Whatever sugars we've got is what we've got. Then we're going to get sparging and the likes of. Well, I think that's a bit buggered. Holy cack balls. I caught the flipping bulldog clip. It's literally ripped one of the clips out. I have no idea where the piece of metal's gone. Oh, we're going to have to turn this off a sec. So there's a piece of metal floating around somewhere. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. You know what? It's actually still working. I kid you not. It is working. Gives me a bit of a better angle, I reckon. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, never a dull moment. Oh my goodness, let's clean it off, because it did actually go in the drink. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that piece of metal out, because I'm assuming it's gone into the bloody wort. I laughed so much. Oh, I had a flipping coughing fit. When it's going to go wrong on the Fermented World channel, it's going to go bloody wrong. Oh, it's even pulled the battery compartment out. You know what? I think we're in a bit of a pickle with this one. I don't think there's any saving it. Maybe. Hopefully no water's got in there. But it's still measuring. It says it's at 62 degrees. 63, 64, 65. So we're not going to have that attached now. I need to sterilize another bulldog clip. Oh crap. It won't even go in the pot because it's so janky. Definitely need to sterilize another bulldog clip. I think what I did is I got that caught in the mixer. That's why it's mangled it up. Because it was attached to that, it's kind of launched it. Now, I'm going to try and see if I can get whatever fell in there out. Because I don't want a piece of metal in there. I mean, we're nearly done with this anyway. But it's not going to be doing any good in there, is it? I mean, it was sterilised. Or was it even in there? Or did it ping off somewhere else? Oh, I don't know. Well, I can't find it anyway, so that's that. We're going to continue to heat this up. And we'll get it up to the 69 degrees that it needs to be at to stop the conversion. Hopefully this will leave us with some unfermentables, giving us a nice little bit of flavour. And then we're going to move on to the sparging. Oh, a day in the life, eh? A day in the bloody life of. Oh my gosh. I've got to show you this. So, as you can see, I've absolutely mangled this, but it still bloody works. Now, if I try and bend it back out, it's probably going to break, and then there'll be no watertight seal. So we're just going to make do and then replace it. Okay, sorry for the audio change. I needed to charge the microphone because I used it yesterday for, not yesterday, day before. Used it Saturday, sorry, for the other channel. And the hard part's done. We have mashed the grain, hopefully successfully getting the best extraction that we could. It was playing with a hell of a lot of grain there. It was literally like porridge. I'm not quite sure how I would have done it if I'd have needed to put any more in. I did eventually add some more water. The level does look quite low, but I don't want to do anything until we know what we've got. Because we're going to be aiming for that quite a high ABV. Now I could just take some out and cool it to see what it's at the moment, but it's not going to matter anyway because we've got like a 90-minute boil to do. So I should probably put some in, because normally we start up about here, so we've probably got about a litre deficit. So what we're going to do is we're going to weigh out the chinook, which is the first hops that's going in. Oh my goodness, that's going in for 90 minutes and we need 25 grams. Which is half of this pack. 24.5, 24.4, 25.2. Just take that little bit away. 25 grams. Now this can go back in the freezer, where it shall stay unless we need any more chinook. Only for the dry hops, which is another 25 grams. It does say 20, we've got 25. So it's pretty pointless just leaving 5 grams of hops. That's going into the first runnings before it's even had a chance to heat up. Gives a more rounded bitterness, I think. This beer is the wheat beer. It's supposed to be a marmalade wheat beer, but it didn't go all that well. It just caused loads of flipping mess with it spewing out all over the top with the simple sugars from the marmalade and that kind of jazz. Mixed it. Yeah, I did start this one a little bit later, so it is going to be a bit of a long one for me. Or a bit of a later one, is what I meant. I might be picking up. This was one that's not got the bloody label on it. Might be picking up a bit of orange. Oh, there is a bit of a citrusy tang to it. But that could be my imagination just willing it on. So we've got our proctofloc, which is the fining agent. We're just going to crush that down, get that ready. We have got chinook, 25 grams of for 90 minutes. Centennial, 25 grams of, 15 minutes towards the end, and at the same time the proctofloc's going in. 5 minutes towards the end, we've got 15 grams of Centennial. At flame out, we've got 15 grams of Columbus, and then a dry hop of 25, which I need to amend because otherwise if I ever come to rebrew it, I'll not know what's cracking on. So yeah, 25 gram dry hop. Normally I predict around day 5, but this is going to have a high ABV, so it could still be quite active at that point. So if it is, then we just wait a little bit longer. Between day 5 and day 7, we're going to be putting the digital hydrometer in this one. I'm going to be getting another one on so that I've got some back to back, and I've got 2 in the kitty, if you want to call it that, just so I don't have to buy beer from the shops, because it's just flipping expensive, man. And I can brew the same stuff in my kitchen for pennies. Put that on top so that when it does come to the boil, it doesn't boil over. Because this, I don't know how it works, but Mary Berry, the cook, or baker, whatever you want to call her, I saw her do this once when my mum was watching TV, and I was like, wow. The pan was about to go over, and she just literally got this spoon, placed it on the top, and it stopped. I was like, oh, how blooming marvellous. Gonna let that come up to the heat. I'm gonna go chill, drink some beer. Only the one, it is a Brewday beer. I only have the one. I could quite happily sit and drink loads, but don't really drink during the week. I like to save my beer tokens for the weekend. And plus, trying to get rid of this, whatever this is. Yeah, trying to get rid of the pork. But hey ho, we've got it on, and we'll be back. Okay, so this is going to take a very long time. It's heavily hopped. Let's quickly try and calculate how much hops went into it. My maths is terrible, so I'm going to use a calculator. Just because I can. It's sort of working. So... It's probably got about the same amount of hops that I'd put in something like a New England IPA. Has a hell of a lot of hops in, and there's still more to go in. Well, that can't be right. Well, 83.5 grams of hops so far, and it's got another 25 of chinook to go in the dry hop. So I'm going to let this slowly filter through. I may dilute it, I may not. I did check the gravity a while ago, but it was still a little bit warm. Let's see what we've got now. And it said 92, which is around the mark that I need it to be able to reach that 10% plus. Now if I dilute it, I'm not going to reach that. I'm going to have to add some extra sugars, which isn't ideal once the boil's already gone. But it's only version 1 of this anyway, so you know, still learning really. Never done a barley wine before. We'll just let that settle a minute or two. It's now saying 90, but let's see if we can let it rest a second. Let's see what it does. And it's just a matter of just keep on tipping a bit in. It's not the most sophisticated filtering method, but I tell you what, it didn't cost a lot. I think it was like 13 quid or 17 quid, and it comes with the bag. You can buy the bag separately. I do actually need to buy some new ones, but yeah, it works. It's just slow. Yeah, 92 is where I'm going to say it's at, or more likely 91, close to that. Now, if I did check, if that ferments out, that's going to give us 10.2%, which is perfect. But it's not going to give us a very good yield. Now, I'm not sure whether the mash was interrupted by not having enough water to release the sugars into, because it was quite a porridge. But yeah, we're gonna let this drip through and we'll be back. Pitch some yeast, get it going. And now I remember why I get these brews on a lot earlier in the morning. Had some other stuff to do for the other channel, so I was farting around doing that. It was only simple like editing, but this is now 5:30, just gone. I need to go to the allotment, get some pak choy, because I'm cooking something called Vietnamese pork, which requires pak choy. So I'm going to go get some pak choy off my allotment. I'm going to top this back up, let it drain out, and hopefully by the time I come back it'll be emptied, and then I can add the last little bit. Okay, so we got approximately 9 litres out of that. Not great. Should have been more, I think. Maybe again, not enough water in the mash to actually extract the sugars properly. But that's life, I suppose. We're going to pitch some yeast. I'm currently trying to do 2 things at once. I'm trying to cook dinner and do this, and I've got room for neither, so I need to get this out of the way so I can carry on doing what I was doing. Gone to the allotment, picked my pak choy, which is looking mighty fine, I have to say. It's a type of Asian cabbage, I believe. So in with the yeast. I'm going to use a whole pack, like I say, because this is going to be a hell of a lot of sugars in there. We did take a hydrometer reading. It looks about 91. I'd possibly say 92, but the digital hydrometer will give us whatever it says, and we'll just go from there really. So quickly mix this in, and then we are done. Get a bit of oxygen in there. Sorted. And that's a wrap. I can go in there now because we're not going to reuse it. We've done that, we've done that. Don't need them anymore. Sorry, I'm well unorganised today. Didn't do the prep last night. Bloody worrying about my mum. She's bloody in hospital again. But hey, that's another reason why I've done this. Try and keep busy. Yeah. We'll start that up. We'll see what that says. We'll get a lid on, which is over here. Airlock, which is here. And that's a wrap. I'm going to get this moved out of my way now so I can get on with other stuff. But yeah, it should be alright. You know, it says 9 litres. We'll probably get 8 because there's normally a little bit of loss through particles dropping out later on. We'll give it 5 to 7 days before we dry hop. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.